Here we go. I think we've got the semis. Wasn't able to get the cast up for the. Let's see. Oh, okay. Wasn't able to get the semis going for what's it called? For DH, but we got DH Quack. So I think this is their semis. I'm not sure. This might be their quarters. So who knows?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright, so we got Aatrox versus Set, double Conqueror, double TP. We got Seraphine mid versus Vigar.
Minions have spawned.
Okay. Interesting, I guess, question mark. I'm not too sure how this matchup plays out. We got Wukong versus Skarner, traditional matchup. Varus versus Corgi. It is very Corgi favored. But depending on the sport, I don't know what his Zac support is going to bring to the table, so it might just be 80 carry favored for Varus. But we'll have to see what we get done. Alright. So we got Poro here versus Tsiab. And Tsiab getting a really good early trade on Poro. And if you're taking a lot of that Gatling gun damage, you know you're doing something wrong, because that skill just does a lot of damage over time. I don't know. I don't know if they won their first round, because match history for customs doesn't really show, and I'm not in like the Discord or the whatever, so I don't have the information. And it plays up, getting a good chunk off the Nord, forcing that barrier early. Pretty helpful. So, and so far things seem to be pretty even across the board. Tsiab gonna miss out on the pullback, and Poro's gonna take a giant ass Haymaker to the face. So far, no explicit advantage has been obtained. Okay, a flash from Poro to make sure he doesn't die. As if you die in a set lane, it kind of just starts to snowball, and then when it gets out of control, it's just kind of over. We've seen what happens when Pina was laning against Cassio, and she kind of just did nothing all game, and he just took turrets for free just by looking at her. The magic here, armed up on the Corki. It looks like it's gonna be an on-hit Varus. Given that team comp, gonna be a little hard to be brawly versus Zac, Skarner, Aatrox. But yeah. Wonder what Corki build Magic's gonna go, because he can go oh, the slow here from the Skarner W is a lot. We do have the W for Tsiab, but it looks like it's not going to be able to do anything. It's a flash here, but Magic is in trouble. Should be able to get away from Nord for now. Zac is healing up. He does win those trades, but he's gonna go into passive. And yeah, Magic unfortunately is going to die. That is a double kill. The on-hit Varus, the longer the fight goes, the better it is, right? Because you get the auto resets whenever you kill something. And each blob counts as something for the Varus passive, so it does a lot. Kennel here going Rod of Ages first item. Interesting choice. But, I mean, looking at the threats ahead, building a bit of HP against on-hit Varus is a good idea. He doesn't do that much percent health damage. Well, he does a decent amount of percent health damage, but just having the ability, the handshake into the double beat draw, and Canal's going to be taking a lot of damage. The HL impact coming in here. And Poro now taking a fight with Skiab. A sweet spot's going to land, but the Haymaker basically blocks a lot of that damage. And we got a tier here for Seraphine. So Corki is going to go Triforce first. Might be opting into the crit key build with the Triforce into crit using the Essence Reaver. Because Essence Reaver essentially does the same thing as Monamune, but it kind of scales him faster. But you just build Monamune because sometimes it gets a little bit easier to do stuff with mana. Okay, and that's gonna be a solo kill here. Wukong has to be careful. Lolo has rotated, but so has Roi des Elfes. But yeah, no, Set's starting to fall behind in this matchup. This is pretty, just pretty bad overall. Lolo, I'm gonna try and be sneaky and maybe want to try and steal. But keep in mind, the Set is making his way back, and we got the smite. Ooh, and we catch the Wukong. Canal here forced the flash. The Encore channeled only into Batan, so a lot of good things happening. And Lolo trying to finish off a kill, but we're not getting anywhere. And Poro gonna kill Renata. Batan here starting to clean up, but it's just Equix. But now Batan has to be a little bit careful because Tsiab is here. And yeah, she's gonna run into Tsiab, and that's gonna be all she wrote. That's a shutdown given over. Magic making the rotation over here. So Varus has spent a lot of time free farming. There's going to be a lot of XP for the Varus. He's already level 6. We're starting to work on level 7. And he's going to get some free plating. So that's pretty good. So unfortunately not going to be able to get the objective. But I think, did we get the... I think we got the... I'm not too sure, but I think we got the Feats of Warfare. Oh wait, no, it was a double kill, and we killed Set twice, right? I'm not too sure, but Boro's having a really good game so far, so that's great. Because when Aatrox is ahead, that is dangerous. Aatrox becomes a monster when he's fed. And Varus, known to be very immobile. Gets hit by a fed Aatrox, he'll probably just die. Okay, well, the Chains of Corruption just it shot at Mr. Magic's window. So close, but it missed. It seems they didn't time the handshake into the Chains of Corruption, because if they did, that's like, it's not dodgeable if you get hit by that route. So here, Tsiab now in danger. I think about to have his had his flash. Okay, so I don't think the follow through on flash would have killed, but now he's down even more waves. Still has his TP, but the Encore are going to be channeled into pretty much nothing. We're forcing a play here, but Canal, you're gonna get exploded on by the monkey because we went a Tiamat on Wukong, so he's looking to kill. And what is up? Gonna be able to get away. What is up? Gonna be able to get away by just using his flash, so he keeps his passive, which is really good. Because Zac without a passive is so weak that it's just not even funny. Just because you don't have that safety that you can rely on. We used the impale, but it did not hit. And now Miss Magic's starting to get zoned. Because Zac is roaming, it doesn't have much prowess in the lane. The Varus is starting to get pretty big. Equix looking for a gank. The Chains of Corruption are gonna find Zac, and the passive probably gonna be run through. Kenal was looking for a rotation, but Lola was matching, so it would have ended in disaster. And that's Varus getting another kill. Oh. Okay, wow. Okay, that's a lot of damage on this Wukong. The Tiamat really adds a lot of DPS to the build. Okay, it looks like Equix is just gonna find Magic. Magic very, very greedy for the wave. Didn't want to get it frozen on him. I understand that. It looks like we're rotating the Varus and the Renata top lane to try and secure more grubs. Because at this point we have the stronger AD carry. Varus could be in a bit of a pinch. And we do have Lolo here. Boro, unfortunately, getting caught in the Encore plus Berserk state, and because there was nothing to hit, he was just kind of there to die. But Shojin means he'll have a good amount of damage. But now without this fat Aatrox by your side, and he doesn't have TP, looks like don't really get much prio. No, but then just gonna go clear the wave. And yeah, Mr. Magic right now, he's gotta scale up. Oh, and he did end up getting a tier. He probably just so he's still going the tier build. On Corki, Blade of the Rune King almost finished here for Varus, so it'll be pretty disgusting when that happens. Kenal still not finished with his Rod of Ages, I mean, Seraphine mid, not really like the Syndras and the Orianas, you know, like this, just not much real burst. Okay, Equix has started grubs. And Equix gonna go down, but gonna get the revive off because, and oh shit, low tier Bonobo gonna get caught out here. But it looks like we don't really have any damage to finish off. Aatrox is here, but yeah, Nord is putting some damage in. If we aren't too careful, it'll just be Jover. Okay, so now we're working on what probably is a Black Cleaver here for Aatrox, Unending or Mercs for Skarner. Corki's still working towards his Triforce. Probably has it with his back because he doesn't have boots. So nope, still short. Wow. Okay, that's pretty sad. Rod of Ages finally finished here for Kenal, so he can start truly scaling. But and that's a beautiful shutdown to give the Aatrox. It's still down about 2,000 gold. Aatrox putting in a lot of work, and Batan should be able to solo this dragon without any problems. I think you have to try and commit, right? Ooh. Okay, so we do get the dragon. That is a lot of damage, but the set here is gonna die. And yeah. Okay, so it's 4-2 in grubs. But Aatrox is putting a lot of work on this turret, so that's probably just gonna be feats of strength. I think. Yeah, it is feats, so we did get the feats of warfare. And what is up committing the flash here, but Equix is here, has trying to get into range for the Whirlwind, the Cyclone, the Nimbus Strike, but not going to be able to find much here, ladies and gentlemen. So even though this Wukong is pretty huge, he went Ravenous first. Normally that's what I do when I play Wukong. Ken out here just free farming some stacks. And now has the Soloq shoes. And meanwhile, Poro 5-2, level ahead. There's getting stuff done. Okay, now gonna take a recall here. Let's see what he ends up going for. What is he going? Okay, looks like we're gonna go Zonia second. He understands that he's frail, and so surviving in a team fight gonna be very helpful. Zac finished his Locket, but has a Balmy Cinder. Interesting choice of item on a support, given that your gold is super highly limited, so you don't normally have the freedom to make weird buys much. Because he could have finished his boots, but I guess the Balmy Cinder is a decent amount of damage for someone like Zac or something. I don't really know. And one more auto attack should do it, and that's that. Yep, Seraphine even through the Seraphs. I mean, the Aatrox is huge. 2 items, don't need to finish boots, but if he gets like Swifties, you won't be able to touch this Aatrox. He'll be just so fast that it just won't even matter anymore. Now he's gonna claim, Poro's gonna claim another turret. Equix here in a little bit of danger. Batan wants that hard steel stack, but isn't gonna commit for it. It's just enough knowing that Poro gets the free stack. Batan might be in a little bit of trouble if they decide to commit. And yeah, okay, well that is gonna be the channel being broken here. The Whirlwind's going to find Kano. And yeah, that's enough. We do also invest Poro's teleport. So yeah, that is Rift Herald over. Unfortunately, Batan having one of her Batanments. And yeah, things not going well. So that is Rift Herald down, but you're 1 defeats, you're up 2 dragons. You can afford to slow down and let your Aatrox and Viger hyperscale, let your Corki get caught up. You don't really have to force any unnecessary fights. Your Zac only gets better as the game goes anyways, and Skarner is ridiculously good in the late game. So you don't have to overcommit or over-aggress on plays where you don't have the priority and stuff. Scab here gonna steal away the Grump. We're trying to find him. Not gonna find him. And we are buying a lot of time with this. And so we're just comfortable, just okay. Alright, so essentially good pick here to catch out Sigap. There's nothing to play for. The dragon's up in 30 seconds. But Sigap does have teleport, so, and it's no longer the turtle port, so. Okay, now here finished his Seeker's Arm Guard, so now he does have a 1-ticket safety angle. But to be fair, in a weird team fight, if Poro's not there to be hitting the people who do damage, and Magic's just not really there yet, he's pretty far behind in terms of money. Poro is doing a good job dealing with the objectives. So there's not going to be that many standing turrets left. And I think Poro knows that he wins these 1v1s anyways. So it doesn't really matter. The Herald dropped mid because we're trying to get Prio to start the objective. Poro is making his way up. But the Herald charge is going to take about 55% of the turrets. And Poro here winning the first trade against Set. So it's just a matter of perspective of who gets what. notice Otacon has spawned in the top lane. So we're gonna take the dragon, but we're gonna give up the mid turret. We're up 2, so it doesn't really matter. We don't have to force soul point. Because our team just gets better in the DH Quack just gets much better in the late game. Anyways, Equake's looking for a flank though. And Batan is gonna find Bonobo. Going to force the flash with Glazing to get it. So that's the hostile takeover taken down. Looks like anti-heal was picked up here by Seraphine. And Elf King might be in a bit of trouble. And no. Forcing the flash from Siya, but that's a nice 2-man engage. And Poro might be in a bit of danger. The shutdown here goes on the Varus, and this could be huge. The nice wombo combo. Seraphine putting in that work.
Blue team double kill.
Now that's a red buff Varus. You're not getting away.
Blue team has
And that's
spawned
an
an
ace. The fight looked so good at the start, but then the 4-man Cyclone, the 3-man Encore, just fighting on top of zones. And this is what LOV wants to do. They want to fight in small zones. Basically, the entire fight was fought on the same circle that the fucking Cyclone was being procced. So that's just Wukong's getting so much out of his like full damage build, you know, not going the Sunder, not going the heal build, right? So there's a chance he'll die, but he just does so much damage. And I mean, Seraphine builds pretty standard, but what matters for the Seraphine is like everyone being so grouped. All her skills are like super fat, juicy AoEs. So that's all the Seraphine wants. She wants to multi-shield her team. She wants to multi-hit everyone, a multi-man engage. Because there's nothing to stop this Encore from coming through. You saw when Batan landed the impact, the Encore was still being channeled. It just charmed Batan because Batan was the only one there. But it's essentially a way to counteract the engage if ever Lolo gets caught out. But here, Varus, no, we know he has no flash, but the Wukong is huge. And Mr. Magic's gonna go berserk, but the Seraphine with a clutch disengage, and there's just nothing left here that Poro can do. He's fed, but this Varus is huge. And yeah, Canal's Viger, well, it's pretty much non-existential at this point. Viger, often a very useless mid laner, and he's great when he's ahead because he just lands a spell and you take like 80% of your HP. But in games where you know he's not ahead or not contributing much, the whole point of Varus is to be able to blow someone up, and Canal didn't get to use his ult, so he didn't really participate. And that's Otacon, so that is huge here for LOV. That's going to snowball the advantage even more. And it's nice that Poro has a lead, but no one else on the team has a lead, so yeah. And now I think we're going Sterix here on the Wukong, either Sterix or we're getting a Sundered Sky. But now this Wukong, once this Wukong gets a little bit of healing, he'll be he has the Ravenous, so he does have access to healing. But if we could just get more survivability, it just becomes even harder and harder to deal with. The anti-heal from the Seraphine really doesn't help the overall plan that Poro and Zac want, because the second they get tagged, their sustain gets cut down to like 60%, and on a support who still has a Bomb Cinder and has no plans of upgrading it to something else, it's just a little bit interesting. I think maybe a different item could have been better. It just feels like they're not using their resources as well as they could be. Okay, well, I mean, Sigab here gets enough damage to clear the wave, and Glazing gonna be taken to about 40%. Poro not enjoying. Sorry, Sigab not enjoying Poro's just constant bashing on his face. You have the Black Cleaver. You have the Shojin. So at this point, basically every time you finish using your Q, it's already off cooldown again, and there's not much that you can do regarding that. It's just like it just happens. Varus here now at 3 items. We're gonna start the dragon here. Nice, we channel into Tsiya, but Tsiya doesn't mind getting grabbed. Does so much damage. Magic kills off what is Elf with the Berserk, and that's just another scenario where yeah, your front line's tanking, but your damage ain't damaging. And look at how fast Varus can do the dragon. It's kind of crazy how fast they do it. They can do it in like less than 20 seconds, so yeah. And Magic's passive coming in to bite his team in the ass, because since there's no armor on this Zac, and it's true damage from the Corgi. Ooh, Kanal basically just getting one shot by Tsiya, and the ultimate goes down, but now that's Poro getting caught out. Magic's gonna get taken down, and that's probably the end of the game. There's a wave coming in. It's a cannon wave. I mean, there's what is Elf, but he's got no passive. He's got no ult. Yeah, this is just looking grim for fans of DH Quack. He's trying, but he just melts it. He has his passive, but they don't even have to kill him. They can just end, and that's gonna be the end of the game here. And we'll see you guys in the next one if I get to cast another one.